what happened to Luka and that Mavericks team?
Well, let's Skip. Look, Luka didn't play well. There's no way around that. I mean, he had, more turnovers than shot attempts, and he didn't play well. But everything is really predicated on Luka playing well is that they knock down shots. Skip, they missed a lot of shots early, and we know they're going to get up threes because everybody's going to try to collapse the paint to keep Luka out of the lane. I don't know how many wide open threes you can miss that early, Skip. So now the Warriors like, well, hey, we can even condense the floor even more. We ain't got to worry about Bullock. I mean, clank. Brunson, clank. Finney-Smith, clank. Kleber, clank. Bertans, clank. And so now all the focus is on Luka. And Luka didn't play well. He turned the ball over, Skip. He let them get out in transition. And you said this before. The Golden State Warriors, if they start to front run, they start to feel good about themselves. And Steph Curry, they had Steph Curry under control in the first half. They had Clay under control.
They did.
And then all of a sudden, Steph hit a couple of threes, and I thought he was going to Subway to get that foot long with an extra avocado. He started doing it, and it's over.
On one three-point play, he walked all the way up the court, just shimmy shaking all the way up the court. I'm saying, just stop it. Just go shoot the free throw.
On the and one by
That's what I'm saying. Just go shoot the free throw.
Yeah. And then Clay had maybe 1 point, no points in the first half, and then he gets going. But Skip, this is all about Luka. Luka has to do a better job of taking care of the basketball because he let Golden State get out and get some easy buckets. And what was a 4-point lead all of a sudden was a 10-point lead, and a 10-point lead was a 20-point lead. And nobody does a better job of making a lead go from 10 to 20 than the Golden State Warriors because they hit a couple of threes, and the next thing you know, the crowd is electric, and then you're hanging your head. Luka will play better. But, Skip, if their guys don't hit, you saw Phoenix. You said they couldn't miss a shot in Game 7 against Phoenix. Now Luka got an opportunity to play one-on-one with Ayton. He had an opportunity to play one-on-one with Bridges or CP3. Last night, Wiggins did a great job. But even when he got by Wiggins, there were 4 or 5 guys in the lane. There were 3 or 4 guys because everybody's head was looking at him.
Yep.
But they had 2 or 3 guys waiting on him because they're like, why am I guarding the three-point when all y'all can do is shoot bricks? Friday will be a different story. Those shots weren't going in, and I tweeted last night. The Mavericks are missing some very, very makeable shots early in the game. That would have expanded the floor. Now you got to guard those three-point shooters. Last night they didn't 37-3. Hold on, what did they shoot? They were 11 or 40. Hold on, 11 or 48? Skip, I told you they're going to get up at least 70 between the two teams, and right on cue, they got up 73. But 11 or 48 won't get it done. 23% won't get it done. You got to be at least somewhere between 37, 40% from the three-point line. Now I can let Luka play one-on-one with Andrew Wiggins. Now, everybody done hyped him up now. They got Andrew Wiggins thinking that he'll lock like he's Scottie Pippen or he Kobe or Jordan. Now watch what Luka do to him on Friday night. Guaranteed a 30-10 game. Guarantee it.
Are you guaranteeing a victory for the visiting team?
I'm thinking about that, too.
You're thinking about it.
That also.
You're talking like you're...
I'm thinking about a guaranteed victory.
Well, why don't you just go ahead and plunge?
I'm going to see what you got to see, how strong you feel. Because I can tell in your voice if you feel really, really strong about what you saw. Or you just
see me coming?
Or you just front running like Golden State. I'm about to see what you talking about.
I'm going to give you this. Your Dallas Mavericks jacked up 19 threes in the first quarter. I've never seen anything like that before. And if my math is correct, if I multiply that times 4, that's 76 three-point attempts in a game. And I forgot to even look up the record, but I'm pretty sure that would be the record.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
76 is the pace after the first quarter. And, of course, they only made 3 of 19.
Right.
Okay, so you're not off to the races. I said this was going to be a three-point shooting contest. And yet, ironically, your guys actually outshot Golden State from 3, 11-10, except your guys took 48 to get to 11, and my guys took 29 to get to 10, which wasn't very good. That's only 34.5%, but your team shot 22.9% from 3. And I'm going to give you that. Not good, can't happen again, or you're going to get cooked quickly by this team.
Right.
I'm still not completely sold on Golden State. I thought Golden State looked shaky in the first half. I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to dig in on this one right here, right now. If Ja Morant had been healthy for the whole series, if Dillon Brooks had not effectively been suspended for 2 games, 2 and 3 of that series against Golden State, I will guarantee to you that right now Memphis would be up 1-0 on Dallas because Game 2 would be in Memphis. They had them dead to rights. They just didn't have their star closer. He's not a superstar yet, but he's a star.
So you was going to guarantee Memphis was going to win the series?
Absolutely. I predicted it, and I believe in it because Golden State looked shakier and shakier. And last night, the more I watched what happened last night, Memphis was looking better and better, right? Because did you see Memphis ever get done to what Dallas got done to it last night? You didn't see that happen. I know one game at Memphis in which this same Golden State team that just routed your team was down 55 points at Memphis. Okay, so in your mind, doesn't your respect start to grow a little bit for the Memphis Grizzlies and how much they took out of Golden State? Because they made Golden State look ordinary to me. And Steph struggled that whole series. And in the second half, nobody struggled because your team got run off the floor.
But, Skip, you know how you play Golden State. You got to keep the game close. You got to make them execute throughout the entirety of the game. Because if you let them go running high, they start celebrating, and Steph is doing the three thing, and Draymond is yelling and screaming after play. Jordan Poole, all of a sudden, he's Jordan Poole that's parlayed this season into a big contract. They're going to blow you out. And that's what happened. They blew. Skip, they didn't play. Skip, it was a layup line. It's like you said, it wasn't like they were shooting threes, Skip. It was a layup line. Steph to the left, Clay laying the ball up. Wiggins laying the ball up. Kevon Looney came to the party. It was just layup. Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole halfway, he had a foot behind the three. He's like, I'm just going to shoot this anyway. Bloop, in the basket. So, and plus, when did Golden State turn into this great rebounding team? They killed them on the boards. Again, they beat Memphis 5 of the 6 games of rebounding. They're one of the worst rebounding teams in basketball.
And the leading rebounder last night for Golden State was?
Steph Curry.
Little tiny Steph.
12, he had double digits.
12 rebounds. It's because he wanted the basketball more. It's because they were jacking up and bricking so many threes that he was chasing down loose ball rebounds all night long, and he got 12 of them. That's what happened.
Yes.
Okay, now to the crux of the matter. Now to the flashpoint of last night. I don't care how you slice this, even though I told you going in that Golden State simply has more trustable shooters than Dallas does on this stage, the Western Conference Finals stage. Remember, most of these guys, if not all these guys, they haven't been here and done this before. Golden State's been doing it for a long time. They've just been off radar for a couple of years because of injuries. Okay, but it's going to come down to, is Luka that dude? I'm still asking, is he really that guy? Has he arrived as a superstar? Because I saw something last night that should trouble you. I saw Golden State come out and pay him actually too much respect in the first half because they tried several different defenders in the first few possessions of the game. They'd try Andrew, then they'd try Clay, and then they'd try, they'd run different people at him. Draymond took him once. And then they resorted to a box and one, and then they resorted to just a straight sort of it was like a 1-2-2 zone, okay? Let's just see. So Steve Kerr's experimenting. And then at halftime, it's still a relatively close game at halftime, even though they pulled away right at the end of the first half. But Steve Kerr just says, what am I doing? Let's just put Andrew on him. Andrew Wiggins is in his 8th year in this league. He toiled in the shadows in Minnesota as the first overall pick for almost 6 seasons, right? And then Golden State flat out stole him because nobody really had that much respect for him in the D'Angelo Russell trade. Right. So all of a sudden they add a piece, and he's never going to be, he'll never, as you say, live up to the first overall pick. But he has star quality to him. And I told you in that closeout game 6 at Golden State the other night against Memphis, Andrew Wiggins was the guy who took the game over early in the fourth quarter, and he saved the game, he protected the game, and he gave them their first lead before Steph started front running. My point is, he's having a really good playoff run as what I call a near star, like a secondary star where he's got star quality. He's 6'7". He's a long 6'7". He is extremely athletic, and I think his athleticism is actually better than his shooting ability, even though he's starting to shoot the three a little better because in the playoff run so far, he's shooting 40% from three. So he's teaching himself more and more a more trustable shot. But all of a sudden, he just turned 27, so he's not aging. And he said after the game, I just don't get tired. So in the second half, he starts picking up Luka full court, and he just sort of runs Luka in the ground. And in the second half, your man, Baby Bird, I got to tell you, Andrew Wiggins made Baby Bird look like Baby Hummingbird to me, because that was more of a hummingbird, little.
It was
right?
bad performance.
Little hummingbird performance. In the second half, Luka goes 1 of 6. He made one shot in the second half. He went 0 for 3 from 3 in the second half. And he had 6 turnovers in the second half, most of them obviously in the third quarter.
Yes.
Okay. Well, okay, that's not superstar performance right there. And it's because Andrew Wiggins said, I got this. Okay. He mirrored him. He got physical with him. He actually, this actually was a message play, but he accidentally raked him with a fingernail, I assume, across the cheek, and he cut his cheek early in the game. And yet, I thought he got very physical with Luka. I thought they were very physical with Luka. I thought Kevon Looney, when he was in there, forget about the death lineup, I just thought that they did what I remember the Lakers doing all the way back into 2019 in Luka's rookie year. They just said, beat the hell out of him. Remember? They used to just go at him. They would cheap shot him. They'd push him around. They'd bang on him. Dwight Howard would beat on him and cheap shot him. And it's like just knock him out of the game literally psychologically, where you just beat on him until he says, I don't want any part of this, because he's not a physical player.
Skip, we know we get physical with him. He's going to look at the official and complain.
He will.
And we're going to have the ball go, and somebody else got the ball going back up the court. Okay. Get back on defense, and when you get the ball, you can talk to him once you get to take the ball out of bounds. Look, they did a good job, Skip, but it's going to come down to, can the guys make shots? I agree with you. Golden State has more trustable shooters. Steph, Clay, they've been on the biggest stage. And they've done it.
Yeah.
But in order for you to get the lanes that Luka's going to need to punish Andrew Wiggins, which I would believe he's going to do, guys have got to make Skip, they would declare, you say 3 of 19? Skip, and it wasn't like a lot of those threes were contested. Jalen Brunson with him, I'm talking about people like 2-3 feet away from him. Bullock couldn't miss still in Game 7. Finney Smith couldn't miss. Brunson couldn't miss. Remember, Skip, Brunson had 22 in the second half. He couldn't miss. He couldn't buy a basket early in the ball game. And I believe that would have changed the complexion of the ball game. You're going to have to make Golden State play throughout the entirety of the ball game, because they're looking at running high. They're looking to get that spurt and get their crowd into it. And once Steph starts celebrating, you kiss the baby on that one.
Kiss the baby. Agreed. And he's like, Steph looks like a baby himself, babyface Steph. Okay, here's my biggest reservation about quote-unquote superstar Luka. Once again, we saw a team in an early in the series game just hunt him on defense. Just hunt. Let's attack him. Wherever he is, let's attack him. I do think Golden State has more weapons than Phoenix did, obviously. So he's more attackable because it's harder to hide. I thought they got away with hiding him in games 4 through 7. Maybe 3 through 7, because remember, Game 2 at Phoenix, the whole post-game theme, the whole narrative was about we were hunting Steph on, hunting Luka on defense. Hunt him down, and just annihilate him. Well, it was happening all night last night. Golden State says he's a liability. Just attack him.
Well, the thing was, Skip, is because if you, in this situation, you put him in the pick and roll, that's Kevon Looney rolling to the basket. That's still a big. Well, if you don't want him on Steph, you don't want him on Clay, you don't want him on Wiggins because he's so slow of foot. But Skip, this is not new. What the greats have always done, one of your best offensive weapons always took the opposing team's least offensive weapon because you wanted to save him. They didn't take a Bird and put him on Magic or put him on Jordan or put him on any elite player because I needed him to rest because it's going to take too much out of him. Look at Giannis. Giannis don't play the best of Giannis. Even when KD was cooking, Giannis like, Holiday, you and Tuck, y'all keep that going over there. I don't want no parts of that. And when Giannis get going, KD ain't not taking him because it's going to take too much out of him. So I'm not surprised. That's what you should do. Skipper, remember, they used to play offense and defense in the NFL. Can you imagine being a wide receiver and a DB? You playing 120 snaps a game. Now, guys,
I can imagine if you didn't know any better. You know what I mean? If you just know you don't know, you just do it.
It's like high school football. Skip, everybody plays. I played offense and defense.
Absolutely.
And the return team, but you didn't think about it.
You would have been offended if they'd sat you down on defense.
And now I think about it like, damn, I'm playing over 100 snaps a game. That ain't. But Luka, yes, Skip, he's never, because he's so slow of foot, he's never going to be. He'll be an okay defender. He's more of a steal guy. Jump in the passing lane. As far as sitting in the chair, Skip, His feet not quick enough to move laterally side to side like
I'm glad you brought that up, because on offense, I'm just eye testing. I'm just watching what I watch and saying what I see.
Right.
Luka looked really slow-footed on offense last night, maybe because Andrew Wiggins was making him look a little slow. When Luka attacked last night, he started he's a little heavy. He's still, like, he came in out of shape, and you say you come in hurt, you're gonna play hurt. Well, if you come in out of shape, it's hard to just get completely into supreme shape.
Correct.
We see this with James Harden. But Luka looks a little hefty to me.
Yes.
Like he's not a svelte athlete.
Right.
And so when he gets an elite athletic defender on him, it starts making him look a little chunky to my eye. And I'm thinking, wait a second.
Right.
What? Because there were a couple plays last night where I thought he actually had a step.
I did too.
And then at the last second, he would see Looney lurking, and he'd be like, I got to kick it. I got to kick it to a three-point shooter. And obviously they were not. And that's why you wound up with 4 assists, is because nobody would cash his. And
the thing is, like you said, he got there, and I thought, like, oh, Luka, finish that. Stop looking to pass the ball out. You right there at the rim. They're not making the three-point shot. You're right there at the rim. But it was like he did. His legs looked a little heavy. I believe he'll be better. J. Kidd will talk to him and says, look, in this situation right here, we trust you to put the ball up as opposed to kicking the ball out to Bullock, the Brunson, and those guys right there. Go ahead, and you watch what he does. He's going to put that big body on Andrew Wiggins.
He better.
And going to move him out the way, and he's going to give you a 30-10 game this next game. Now, book it.
Book it. Are you booking a win, or you...
I'm seeing.
You're seeing.
I got time, Skip. We got the game not till tomorrow, right?
I thought you had the courage of your convictions.
Is the game tomorrow or today?
Well, obviously it's tomorrow. Okay, I hope for Luka's sake it's not today, right?
Hey, he gonna go have another beer. Hey, that's what everybody do. So, I'm gonna go have some wine.
So now you're gonna start calling him Hookah?
No, Luka Dončić.
Yes. Okay. No. Okay.
No.
Right.
He's still my guy.
Okay. Just to frame this, to sum this up. Let's see Luka's 12 misses last night, just to get a sense for how it looked in totality of his misses. These are the 12. He shot 6 of 18. These are his 12 misses. So there's a pretty wide open look on Wiggins, and he was just a little long. He's a 34% three-point shooter, so he's not great.
Short on that.
Yep. That was the one he made at Phoenix to start the game. Short.
Short on that.
These are leg shots. You know, you just got to get your legs into it.
Short.
Little short right. And ooh, that's just Looney. Looney just said no. You can't come in here and do that to us. Short.
So his legs heavy. Okay. No, short.
That's way short. And that's contested by Looney. Short.
And Skip, y'all in trouble on Thursday.
Short.
Y'all in trouble, Skip.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's at the
that's
clock.
Just the eve that the shot clock running out.
I got it. And then stepping back on Wiggins. Wiggins really contested that well, because I think he really wanted that shot. And then that just looked awkward and heavy to me. That just looked wrong. Okay? And he winds up with 7 turnovers, but TNT missed the very last one because the game was completely out of control. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but we've got the 6 of them. Let's see what happened on his 6 turnovers, because it also enlightens you to what kind of game he was having if we can see his miscues.
I missed a bunch of them because I was turning this game off.
Were you really?
Man, it was down by 30, Skip.
Okay, he just lost the handle.
Draymond robbed it.
Yep. Looney, too much Looney.
That's Steph.
Yep.
This is the one that Draymond robbed him on right there.
Okay, got him good. And that's where you just should go up and shoot that and get to the foul line, if nothing else. Yep. Bad idea. Easy. That's where he dribbled out, and they challenged that and won it because he just kicked it off his own foot, and that's that.
But you know when Luka smiled like that, Skip, you walk on the court. You know when he smiled like that. You remember remember with Phoenix?
You know, he wasn't giggling last night.
You know Phoenix. You remember Phoenix made a mockery of him, and they was up there joking, talking about and Devin said the Luka special.
Yeah, and he walked up the tunnel saying they can talk when they're up, right? Is that what he was saying last night?
Not what he was saying.
Really?
I think I want a case.
Interesting. So I'm going to remind you, against Phoenix, 3 times at Phoenix, the first 3 games at Phoenix, Luka's team lost by an average of 19 points a game. So they just got shelled for 3 straight games. And they went home, and they won fairly convincingly 3 straight times at home. So are you saying this series is shaping up just like the Phoenix? Because there's one game this entire NBA season, if you just sum it all up, there's one aberration, there's one outlier, there's one inexplicable X factor of a mind-blowing game. And it was Game 7 last Sunday. It's completely off the charts, inexplicable, because Chris Paul fell off the cliff. That's all I can say. He went 5 straight games falling off the cliff, and they finally couldn't get away with it in a home Game 7.
Because Devin Booker didn't give you 30.
Either,
and DeAndre Ayton didn't give you 20 and 14.
And wound up getting benched.
Right.
Okay? So my point is, I told you last Monday that was more about Phoenix than about Dallas. So are you sure you're not overrating Dallas, that they're a product of a Phoenix collapse in Game 7? I give you that they won the 3 home games, but can they hold off Golden State all 3 times in Dallas? Because it's shaping up like they're going to have to.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, well, you're suggesting they could actually win Game 2. Well, if they can win Game 2, then you're sitting pretty.
I don't know. We might have to spot them 2 games to let you know Luka for really. For Luka for real. Because you right now, you're not believing in Luka like I do.
Nope.
So I believe that. See, you didn't believe in him the first time in Phoenix, but he made you a believer. See, sometimes you got to.
No, he didn't.
He made you a believer.
Well, he made the first 3 shots, and I give you the first 3 in Game 7, and it shell-shocked Phoenix. They were looking at each other like, if he's going to do that, we got no chance here.
Well, he had 25 and didn't play the fourth. He had 25 and didn't even play the fourth quarter. Phoenix
didn't show up, man.
They showed up. We made them disappear.
Really?
Yeah.
You going to make Golden State disappear?
Nah, they tough.
Huh?
Go to State's a different animal than them.
You're going to knock the front runner right out of them?
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
You talking big. You see, you got your little weird and talking big.
Guys, what adjustments Jason Kidd makes. He's a master at it.
I want you to warn me.
All right.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.